G'day guys, welcome back to the channel again. It has been another big week, but it feels like the end of this training block is really in sight or in touch, which is a very nice feeling. A little ways to go yet, but yeah, I've got the half marathon only 3 weeks away now. I'm not kidding myself though, there's a lot more hard work after that getting ready for the full marathon in October, but I am feeling good that this training block is coming to a close shortly. Truth is, my legs are feeling really sore. They were yesterday and certainly today. After each run, just finding it hard to be on my feet for the rest of the day, so consequently been doing a fair bit of resting, laying down in bed and on the couch, feeling a little bit lazy, but hoping that I'll wake up pretty fresh tomorrow, ready for another big week. This week I ran 83 kilometers and I just walked a grand total of about 2.5 kilometers. So the plan was to be out walking every day these holidays, if not every day, then about 6 days a week, and I only got out once, which was a little bit disappointing, just been busy with other things at home. But I'm not going to let that stop me aiming to be able to get out next week at least for a bunch of walks instead. Kicking off in the corner now is my featured run for the week. Forgive the video quality, it's a little bit shaky because I was trying it on a different mode than normal. But it's just 5Ks at Lilydale Lake that I ran this afternoon with my girls. So my running for the week started out on Monday, and it was Gabby's birthday, so we did a birthday mile, which is following in the footsteps of my favorite running YouTuber, Seth D'Amour, who runs 1 mile on each of his birthdays. So we're going to start that tradition in our family as well. And the idea is just to be able to track your speed from year to year. Running, of course, 1 mile on your birthday. Head down to an athletics track, run 4 laps, flat out, see how you go. And Gabby ran a really good time for that, which was nice to see. On the Tuesday was the big run for the week, 25 kilometers, starting in Wannabe. Basically ran downhill for 12.5 Ks and then back up 12.5 Ks, and my girls, they followed along on their bikes for the whole trip, which was really nice to have their company. Well, most of the time it's nice to have their company. Thursday, just a 3K run. As always, titled that one My Stupid Hills when we're running from home, because they're pretty intense, but they are a really good way to get a good workout in if we've only got 20 minutes to spare for the day. Friday morning, headed out for a 20K run. This one I just tried to hold back a little, just certainly not pushing myself, starting to feel a little bit sore for the week already, but knowing that I had a couple of big days to come. Saturday, soccer, covered nearly 10 Ks for the match, which was a good effort, and went for a slow 5K jog after the game, just so I didn't have to run so much today. And I'm not sure if that was a good or bad idea, because when I got home last night, I was definitely feeling it in my legs. And then up early this morning to run with Adam. We covered 12.5 Ks in Listerfield, my first time running out there, which was a really enjoyable run. And then that featured run that's going in the corner at the moment, 5Ks with my daughters this afternoon. So I made 17.5 for the day and a total of 83 Ks for the week. I'm going to spin you around in a second and just show you in graphic form what my training plan looks like for the next few weeks. So let's have a look at that now. So it's just a short 8-week training block getting ready for this half marathon. Started off at 61 Ks week 1, moved up to 70 Ks, 73, 76. This week is the peak, 83 kilometers. Next week I'm planning on just running 70 or 75. We'll see how I'm feeling. I will play it by ear a little, considering how sore I am today. I definitely don't want to be getting an injury now, being so close to the end of this training block. And then I think it's everybody's favorite part of training, the tapering weeks. Get to drop down from 75 down to 46, and then on race week just covering about 22 Ks before the actual race begins. So overall, yes, my kilometers will be dropping, but I'm going to be lifting my speed and doing a lot more tempo runs, up speed sort of running, interval training, a fair bit at the athletics track, just trying to get the speed into the legs. So I'm pretty confident with the fitness base I've got at the moment, so I'm just going to make sure that I've got plenty of speed backing that up. I find that stuff a fair bit more challenging because I do find it a bit hard to push myself, which is why I really enjoy soccer as part of a training plan, because I've got no choice but to push myself out there. But if I give myself a chance to slack off, I think I sometimes take that chance, and I'm not getting as much out of my sessions as I really could be. So I'm definitely going to have to challenge myself to push myself as hard as I can in all these speed sessions. So I spoke a lot last week about my shoes. The one thing I did mention there was, yes, I have lots of selection and I feel very grateful to have that, but I was missing sort of a tempo day shoe, a really fast shoe that doesn't have a plate in it. So that brings me to this. Don't tell Holly. I know exactly what's in here, and they have come at just the right time. They are a shoe for those up-tempo days, but they're also meant to be super squishy, and I'll show you in a second, just to help take that impact and pain out of the legs. So let's open them right now. These are going to be my very first pair of New Balance. And just so you know, I don't love the color, but that doesn't really matter to me. So this is the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V3. Super lightweight for those fast days. Really, really lightweight. And as I said, very spongy, responsive midsole. Look at that squish. So hopefully they can take a fair bit of the impact out of my legs, but be really quick as well. Hopefully be able to run some really good times in them in the next 2.5 weeks. As I say, getting the speed into the legs. Good timing for this, and I have already cleared a spot, ready for them to go. Very good timing getting those. I reckon I'll be running in them a lot over the next 2.5 weeks, probably starting on Tuesday. So the last couple of weeks I've spoken a fair bit about the fatigue I've been feeling and the soreness, which brings me to my tip of this week. And that is all to do with find a way to help your recovery. For me, the things I focus on the most, because I really do focus on injury prevention rather than dealing with injuries, because injuries honestly are just the worst part of running and the worst part of any sport. It sucks to be mentally ready, willing and able to do things, but if your body's letting you down, I think that is just the worst feeling. It is very, very frustrating. So I'm big on trying to prevent injuries, and I do this, I'd say I do this reasonably well, but it certainly it wouldn't be up to the standard of elite athletes. They would be looking after themselves a lot better than I do, that is for sure. But a couple of things I make sure I do is stretch really well 2 or 3 times a week. Try to stretch out all the main muscle groups in my leg, my quads, hamstrings, calves, groin and glutes, and do them, hold the stretches for about 30 seconds and do about 4 reps of that. So that takes about 25 minutes, and I just do that while I'm watching the football or whatever's on TV at the time. Try to do that 2 or 3 times a week. Typically I'll do that on the night of the big runs from earlier in the morning. Though I've been neglecting walking lately, or at least in the last week, I do really think that that has been helping just keep the muscle strong, the ligament strong, but taking a little bit of the impact away. So I think that's really good for my recovery. And my secret weapon is twofold. One is the massage gun, but number 2 is my oldest daughter Gabby, who typically does the massage gun for me. I really do credit her with me being able to get back into running, because being 107 kilos or whatever I was, the 5k jogs really hurt, and Gabby spent a fair bit of time on my calves and my feet, just helping to massage out all that pain, helping me recover. And recovery was about 2 days after a 5-kilometer run back then. Now I'm able to go out for 20 or 25 kilometers, do a little bit of stretching that night, bit of massage gun in my calves, bit of work on my feet, thank you Gabby, and then I'm still able to run the next day if that is what I have planned for the day. But find what works for you and make sure that you do it 2-3 times a week, just to minimize your risk of injury. I want to thank you very much for watching the Wannabe Runner, and I will see you again next week. Goodbye.